If you need level 40, unlimited, limited, clutch time, domination, triple threat, or anything else on your 2K account grinded, contact Rose NBA on Twitter and let them know X sent you. Alright, so as you can see down in this bottom left corner, we have the Player Takeover. For a limited time, play triple threat online, and clutch time for a chance at Invincible Vince Carter and some other players. That's obviously not exactly the most helpful, I guess we'll say, but they're actually some pretty good things, and I can show you guys the clutch time wheel and just tell you guys generally what could be a good idea to do with this weekend and kind of stack some XP and do some things. So, like, subscribe, auto, let's get it. So, I guess I'll show you guys the cards first off. So the first thing we have is triple threat. This will obviously be the most easy and most consistent. You got 3 dark matters up for you to snag: Vince Carter, Elgin Baylor, and Zion Williamson. Vince being a new one that was just added, Elgin being the one that's always in the triple threat, and Zion being another new one that's added, along with Jaylen Brown and Alex Caruso, just from cards you can get. And now Caruso, Jaylen Brown don't really hold a lot of value. Both are, though, pretty good cards. Vince and Elgin kind of play the same position, so I don't really feel like they're too exciting. And Zion is actually a pretty good small forward, but with a lot of the cards that are coming out right now, even with Jump Shot 3, I'm not really seeing a world in which Zion's going to be like that top tier card that I think a lot of people are super excited about. So triple threat offline, I think having the weakest awards for being the mode that most likely that is the easiest to do, it kind of makes sense. I do get it. If you are, closing in on maybe this deluxe award on Dark Matter Dominique, something like that, you could definitely go ahead and grind out some triple threat. It's probably not going to be the thing that I decide to do, but it's still something that you could do. The next is the wonderful triple threat online, the 100 right here. You can see the cards we got. So you started off with Rudy Gobert and Jamal Crawford on this middle tier that I'm actually in right now. And both those guys are all right. Don't really suspect too many people using either of those. At the top, you can see we have Pete Maravich, Bol Bol, and Vince Carter. Again, Vince is a guy who's going to be everywhere. He's got the Vince Carter jumper. Actually, some pretty good dribbling. You kind of click up a little bit. That Vince jumper is going to be a little bit baited, but he's going to be a pretty good card, especially as a shooting guard. And then you got Bol Bol, who obviously has the Brook Lopez base. He got some pretty good dribbling. He's a 7'2" power forward. He's going to be pretty cheesy. He's going to be pretty fun. And he's a card that I think a lot of people definitely want on their squads. So there's, I guess, a little bit of fun to be had there to get him. Then you got Pete Maravich. Pete Maravich has the rail and base on very quick. Is all around a really fun card. Has a really good dribbling. Just a fun, cheesy, go out there and get absolute buckets kind of card that I'm really excited about, that I want to get. So I'm probably going to be trying up a little bit of triple threat online to try to get him a few times. But clutch time, I think, is really where the big ticket items are. For getting 100 wins on clutch time, you get Chris Webber, who is a end game, who basically is like a small forward version of Chet Holmgren. But in the clutch time wheel, since I can't show you whenever you get your wins, I'll show you guys a picture from a game that I finished, since I can't load it in and show you guys till the end of the game. You actually have some pretty good rewards here. So on the clutch time wheel, you can see obviously we have Invincible Mark E in a card that I may have been a little bit too quick to hate on. Jump shot 1, 7'4", like a 7'7" wingspan, crazy good defensive guy in the paint. So gonna be a really good all around center. Then you got Vince Carter again. He's kind of the staple that's gonna be in every single one of these, who you can kind of just. I feel like Vince is going to kind of be that troll dark matter that you get. You don't really want him, but he's kind of going to pop up a few times. Then you have a Galaxy with Poku. Poku, really cheap, but an amazing card. Jump shot 30 on very quick. 7 foot, plays that small forward role really well. Then you got Chet Holmgren, who is going to be one of the best cards you can really get out of this entire thing. I think Chet actually is like the big ticket item here. If you really are just trying to get the most efficient, like MT and all that, I think that Chet's really the way to go. 7 foot, has a 7'8" wingspan, jump shot 110 on very quick dribble style, Kobe size up, Trey escapes, Scotty behind the back, long athlete, moves even better than Bol Bol, has 100s and all of the great defensive tendencies that you need, and is going to be one of the best cards literally in the entire game. You could 80 Hall of Fame badge him and just go crazy. So all around it's pretty good. And then you can see the pink diamond Lucas kind of like in there in the background is like that guy who you're not really too excited to pick up, but like he's there just in case you want him. And I would say that don't be too upset getting some of those, because you can hold on to those for some future exchanges. There's probably going to be an invincible or an end game in the exchange at the end of next season that you can kind of maybe use that Luka Doncic for. You never know. It could just be something that you could utilize. So that's what we're looking at for most of these. Now, obviously, I think the best bang for your buck are going to be clutch time and triple threat online. Clutch time is going to be a little bit more difficult, so you kind of have to structure your team a little bit better. This is a squad that I kind of like running in this. If I'm really going for some cheese, I'll probably throw in this Poku in at small forward, and then I'll throw Giannis in as my power forward just for some extra speed and stuff like that. LaMelo and Julius Erving are going to be carrying majority of the offense, and then these 3 guys are just here to absolutely lock it down in defense. And that's kind of how I run most of my stuff and how I recommend most of you guys run your, I guess, things. For triple threat online, it's a little bit different one. For squads, you kind of want to just run 3 cards you have some fun with. You really want to just run one guy who you can dribble with, who is tall, that can play defense really all around. One guy who's going to be that versatile all-around defender, and maybe another guy who's like super tall and can also be a versatile defender. Again, I think these 3 are my go-to triple threat online kind of duo. Just run it out, call it pick and roll or something like that with LaMelo and Giannis. Get some snatchbacks in there, go crazy, use the jumper. Jump shot 81 really is not going to miss on this LaMelo. It's actually kind of crazy. The dude is gonna go nuts, for lack of a better term. And then if you're really trying to grind out triple threat offline, it's a little bit weird, but this is kind of the general idea that I recommend for grinding up triple threat online. If you really for some reason want to get Zion or Elgin, or you're trying to move your way up, like I'm actually 36 wins away from a diamond contract. That's actually not a bad idea to try to get up there. So I would run one guy who you're really good with a jump shot with, and then what I recommend doing is get 2 taller centers that are just tall enough from the guy who are going to lock that down on defense. Usually what I do is run this gold Yao Ming, just because, I mean, 7'6". I mean, the guy's an absolute behemoth of a man down there in the paint. Really holds it down for me. And then I will also run at the same time this Sean Bradley, because that means that no matter who I'm running is most likely going to be shorter than these guys. And I'll go in with a guy like LaMelo like this. We'll hop him into a game really quick. And you could also do this triple threat online if somebody's not really playing defense. There we go. Vince Carter, the guy that we're looking for. If somebody's not really playing too much defense, they're really off-balling you hardcore. This is also how you can win in triple threat online. But in offline, I kind of just will let them get 2s, because I will only be taking 3s and most likely be making more than they will hit. If you hit a shot, you can just let them go up, and you kind of just want to run down, get a little snatch back, and then chuck up with jump shot 81. Sometimes the AI will do that and get a contest, but most of the time they won't. And then if that doesn't work, there's an almost guaranteed bucket option. Oh, look at this. Vince Carter's actually cooking me up a little bit. Okay, Vince Carter cooking me up a little bit. That's not bad. There's an almost guaranteed bucket option. Walk down, do a little hop down towards the baseline, run around that screen that you just called, and then boom, easy 3s. You can just do that every time and basically guarantee yourself some buckets, which is always pretty good. And then for anybody, I guess, that is like super wondering some settings, since it looks like I'm frozen. Okay, my 2K crashed. For anybody that's looking at some settings, I'm gonna quickly load into a clutch time game. For anybody that does want to know some settings for that, they can see that, since apparently my 2K just crashed. So I'll be right back. All right, so we're back, and I loaded into a single player game just so I can show you guys what settings I would personally run for some of these clutch time games, just to show you guys the most effective way to play all 3 of these. So hopefully you guys can get your rewards. And if you do get any of your rewards, like the cards that you're searching for out there, let me know down in the comment section below who you're hunting for and if you do end up getting them. So for the defensive settings, is kind of a generic one that I run for everything. On-ball pressure, we put that to smother. The off-ball pressure, I usually like to switch that to tight. Deny ball, I try to explain this as best I can. Deny ball, sometimes the AIs will just kind of backdoor cut whenever you run deny ball and give them a wide open lane. And for anybody that's a relatively good player, you don't want to give them free buckets like that. So I usually just run it on tight, because for the most part, they usually stick with them. On that, the on-ball pressure, I usually do go over on the screens just to make sure nobody gets those 4-point shots for free, especially against guys like Luka. You have to go over and stick to them. I would rather give up a 2 than a 4-pointer. For the hedge, I usually set this always to catch hedge. For the on-ball screen, I also go over, and the hedge, I also set that to catch hedge. Same reasoning for both of these. We also set this to stay attached, just because for some reason, people just love to run away from it. So anything you can stay attached to was definitely going to help. For the screen help rules, I usually set these to no help and no help. And then I will usually set this transition defense down to no 3s, just because, again, on the fast break, for some reason, they love to just run down to the paint and give up wide open 3s. So we really like to set that every single time. For the offensive settings, if you guys like to set up offensive settings, I usually will just switch this freelance to Hawks 2018, call that, and then do a pass and screen away play. This one right here, call that when you get into the game, and you usually get a 5 out really nice, or you can call some pick and rolls, things like that. If you need money plays, you can run the Hawks Heat 2013 playbook, run this quick 4 horns flare, and pick whoever you want to shoot the ball with. LaMelo, for example, for some quick things. Then go into coach settings, make sure the adaptive coaching engine is off, the timeouts manual, player substitutions manual, substitution manual, and player minutes manual. And for anybody that's wondering, some people like to see this, how I have my players talking when I'm actually playing. That's offensive play vision, all plays, play vision display, full play calling messages, show all. That's where you'll see your players talking. Offensive play calling is auto, defensive play calling is manual, late game following is manual, just because sometimes they foul a little earlier than I want them to.
Team communication, I have it on offense and defense, and freelance order, I use that on dynamic, and repeat on success. And the last thing is coaching sliders, move the help defense all the way down to 0. I've seen this really help. If you switch that to no help defense right there, the drive and screen help rules, you set those to no help, and you set the transition to no threes. Most of the time, this will help the issues that you have with your players just running away from other players, and hopefully that can help you win some extra clutch time games, maybe get Chet Holmgren. That's the personal grind that I'm more excited about myself, and probably you may catch me in some of those as well, just to have some fun. So let me know what you guys think about this, like the video and all that wonderful stuff, and let me know what you think about this event. Again, who are you hunting for, and hopefully you do get them. Subscribe, all that wonderful stuff, and I will see you in the next video.